What today I'm going to look at is one of the most important fundamental things about, well, anything actually to do with customers, but certainly to do with charities and donors. And that is the Pareto principle. You might have heard of the Pareto principle, or otherwise known as the 80-20 rule. What that's all about is that 80% of the output will usually come from about 20% of the input, and equally 80% of the input will just develop 20% of the output. What that means in English is that if I have lots of customers, I will get about 80% of my money from 20% of my customers, okay? That's all it's about. So if I'm in a charity and I have, say, an income of $1 million per annum, then I'm probably raking about $800,000 from just 20% of my donors. Now, it actually breaks down a little bit if I'm just looking at one charity in 1 year. But the principle doesn't break down in that it will always be the case that a majority of my money will come from a minority of my donors. What's very interesting is if I look over 10 years, I'll actually see that this is very close. On any charity, over 10 years or so, you'll see that about 80% of the money did come indeed from about 20% of your donors. And if I look across lots of charities in any given year, I'll see that it's about the same as well. That's because different charities with different techniques. So I might have one charity who concentrates on their major donors, so they get lots of money from a very small number of people. So their principle might be that they're actually getting so a major donor charity or someone focusing on a lot of high value gifts might get sort of 95% of its money from just 5% of its donors. So that might be what we might find if someone has a good major donor program, or they get a lot of government money. Okay. Whereas I might have another charity who's actually invested in lots and lots and lots of regular givers. Perhaps they've been doing face-to-face programs, but at the end of the day, they've got these monthly donors giving them $20 or $15 or $100 or whatever a month, but lots and lots and lots of them. Things like child sponsorship like World Vision. What we might expect there is that you maybe only have 60% of your money coming from perhaps 40% of your donors. So we still have a similar situation, the majority of the money coming from a minority of the donors. It's just going to vary depending on the program. But when I put lots of charities together, of course, these are all going to even out to about 80% of the money from 20% of the donors. Okay, so that is the Pareto principle.